so Bruce, you wanted to know about the risk factors for stroke. So just this session is really just going to focus on those risk factors, And at the end of the session, hopefully, you'll understand the different types of risk factors for a stroke. So this page, the red stripe, is always about what the research says.
Right.
So there are factors that can affect your chances of having a stroke. Risk factors increase your risk of having a stroke. That's what risk factors are. And of course, information about the risk factors may help prevent a stroke. So there are two categories of risk factors: things that you can't change,
versus
the non-modifiable ones, and things that you can change. And even though having a risk factor, it doesn't mean that you'll have another stroke. So people can also have a stroke even if they don't have any risk factors. So so we know, have you known of anybody with a stroke who's had a stroke who really can't think why they had a stroke, or they didn't have any risk factors?
I'm not sure. I think in the younger boys, or like man, basically, it's no unknown. So there was like a clot or whatever. So not working. I was getting with stroke. It was started stroke, but no, it's the first day. So
Okay, so let's look at the non-modifiable factors first. So age. So the risk of having a stroke increases with age. You're relatively young, but unfortunately you're a male, and you do have a higher risk of having a stroke than women.
What, with the second stroke, or
and the first as well.
Before that as well. Okay.
So also another non-modifiable factor is if you've had a previous stroke. So you're more likely to have another stroke if you've already had one before. And that's what we call secondary stroke. So there's a primary stroke and secondary stroke. And the other factor that you can't do anything about is your family. So, and you're more likely to have a stroke if someone in your immediate family has had a stroke. Has anyone in your family had a stroke before?
I don't think so.
Okay. So you don't have that family history there as well. But even you couldn't have done anything about it anyhow.
Maybe my dad's parents, he was in Roma. Dad was like 16. He died for the mum. So his stroke, I'm not sure, but it's hard. So, but now it's good. The doctor and the hospital, it's good. But in Roma, there's no hospital, and that's But I don't think so. The rest, it's okay.
Okay, rightio. So your dad's father in Roma, he's passed away, and he might have had a stroke.
No, the lady.
Oh.
So, sorry, so...
His mother, your dad's mother.
Like, they died as well.
Oh, okay.
With a stroke or...
So these are your grandparents.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but probably also in those days, they didn't really... okay, rightio. Okay, so another non-modifiable factor, thing that you can't change, transient ischemic attacks,
Yeah, okay.
TIAs as they're called. And it's a warning that a person is at a high risk of having a stroke. And a TIA happens when a blood vessel in the brain, so here we've got the brain here, and if a blood vessel in the brain becomes blocked, but it's only a temporary thing, only happens for a short time.
Right.
So it's called a mini stroke sometimes, or a transient ischemic attack.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's have a look at what a possible what we want to talk about today. So there are some modifiable factors, things like an irregular heartbeat.
Yeah.
So do you know whether you want to talk about that?
Yeah, but for me it's still good, but it's racing, but not up and down the heart. So for me it's the beating was high, but it's not up and down the beats.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm the same, but it's it was linking bow, leaking bow, no. Yes.
Right.
Leaking bow.
Okay, so did you know that an irregular heartbeat can lead to a stroke?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
No? Yeah. So did you want to talk about that, or no, or you're not sure?
Just telling. It's okay. Just look at it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, well let's talk about an irregular heartbeat,
Yep.
because it's always good to know these
Yep.
things, as you're saying,
Yep.
you know, that your heart is racing,
Yeah.
but to prevent another stroke, you need to know that an irregular heartbeat might be a factor. Diabetes.
Yeah.
Is there any diabetes in your family?
So no, it's okay for me, but
Okay.
my wife is mum's Tasha's mum had diabetes as well. So
I see.
yeah, it's
So, do you want to talk about diabetes, or no, or?
It's okay for me, but for my wife is good. You can look at the diabetes, is strokes, all that. So probably you can for that. I can probably as well.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Sure.
It's insurance for me, but
Yeah. Okay. So, high blood pressure. Did you know that high blood pressure can lead to a stroke?
yeah, I'm not sure as well. But,
No. So, do you want to talk about that, or?
For me, it's okay.
Yep.
But my wife probably high blood pressure. So
Okay.
so but probably my wife as well. Maybe high blood pressure. You never know. And so probably just talking. Yes, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. We're going to skip that page because otherwise the video becomes a bit too long. Let's just talk then about sort of the irregular heartbeat that we talked about before. So the irregular heartbeat is called something, the medical term is atrial fibrillation.
Okay.
Okay? AF for short.
Yep.
And it just means an irregular heartbeat. And it means that the heart can't pump blood as well as it should because it sort of goes and then it doesn't go, you know. So the problem is that blood clots can form in the chambers of the heart.
Quick or long, or quick and fast. So so the blood. Next one, quick. diagnosis.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. So yes, if it's irregular,
Yeah.
then it's not pumping it as well, and for some reason the blood clot can sort of form for that reason. And so it goes into the bloodstream,
Yep.
yeah, from your heart, you know this,
Yeah. Yeah.
it goes into the bloodstream, and then of course it can go up into the
Yeah.
brain,
Yep.
yeah. So, and that's what a stroke is, when the blood clot goes up into the brain. And so the thing is that the doctor can give you medication
Right. Okay. Yeah.
if you have atrial fibrillation.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're going to skip quite a few of these sort of things here too, again for the shortness of
Yes.
of the program. So essentially in this session we've talked about all of the risk factors. Yeah. And so there's been modifiable factors,
Yeah. Versus.
non-modifiable. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so we've talked about some of the non-modifiable ones that you can't do anything about, and then some of these modifiable ones. And the suggestion is that if you've got modifiable factors and you've already had a stroke, then making regular appointments with your doctor for stroke prevention is the key. Would you agree?
Yes, as well. Just like healthy.
Yes.
So not anymore. So that before the stroke, yes.
Well, you're still healthy.
I know, but
Yeah. Okay.